Well, 2024 is coming to an end, and it's been an interesting year at the movies, whether it's big epics like Dune Part 2 hitting theaters, long-awaited musical adaptations like Wicked, or a variety of other movies that have either flopped or performed well. It is time for my annual tradition, the end of the year Joshcars. This is where I take the Oscar awards, come up with my personal nominations and my personal winners as we celebrate the year of 2024. You get an idea of things that I liked and maybe recommendations for movies you might not want to see. But I think it's fun to reflect back and see what type of movies are getting nominations and looking at things objectively when it comes to different type of categories. Some categories you're going off of the quality of maybe a movie. Other categories you're going off the quality of the individual work. Something like hair and makeup, for instance, is one that you don't have to have a good movie, but to have award-winning makeup and hairstyling. There's a few things you need to know off the bat. I will not be doing any Joshcar Awards for song, as I'm not a big musician person and I didn't really follow up on any of the songs this year. No documentaries, no shorts, anything like that. Unfortunately, I do not feel like I had adequate coverage enough to give my own personal Joshcar Awards. There's also going to be movies featured here that came out at the beginning of 2024 for me here in Boise that were a part of last season's award coverage, and there'll be movies that are very much a part of this season's award coverage that didn't make their way to Boise that will miss out on this award. I'm looking at you, the Brutalist. Let me down, A24. Last year was The Zone of Interest, which is up for the Joshcars today. And this year it's The Brutalist, not getting it in time. But without further ado, let's get in to the Joshcars. So first up, we're going to go over costume design. This is always a fun award because a lot of different movies utilize costumes in different ways. My 5 nominees, I feel, had interesting costumes that worked in their themes and went above and beyond most of the other movies I saw this year. And those nominees are going to be Conclave, Dune Part 2, Joker Folie à Deux, Nosferatu, and Wicked. And the award for Best Costume Design at this year's Joshcar, the first award, will go to Wicked. The costumes all around Wicked were outstanding from top to bottom, whether it was all of Glinda's costume work, the simple work that allowed Elphaba to really embody the Wicked Witch of the West, to everybody around Oz. I think for me it's clear one of the things that makes Wicked work the best is the amazing costume work that is going on throughout the whole entire movie. And now we're going to go ahead and move to our next award, Makeup and Hairstyling. And the nominees in this category, which I actually think is one of the deepest categories I've seen for makeup and hairstyling in a long time, we'll start out with A Different Man, Beetlejuice, Amelia Perez, Nosferatu, and The Substance. This award is really, really tough because there's so many amazing parts of makeup that was used this year in all 5 of these nominees, but there's going to only be one winner, and the Joshcar for Best Makeup and Hairstyling goes to The Substance. The makeup and hairstyling both on Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley's character was expertly done throughout, but the over-the-top nature that becomes Demi Moore's character all throughout the movie is some of the best makeup work I've seen in decades. The Substance survives so well off of the amazing hair and makeup that is done in this movie and the aesthetic that it brings. So a well-earned Joshcar for The Substance and makeup and Hairstyling. Production design is an award that I really love to think about, because this, again, isn't always about the quality of a movie that you might enjoy when it comes to screenplay and stories, but production design is all about making sets and how it elevates a movie and overall, appearance of a movie and gets you ingrained in what the movie's trying to be. And this year, I think there's some outstanding production design happening. My nominees for production design are going to be Conclave, Dune Part 2, Nosferatu, Wicked Part 1, The Zone of Interest. And with outstanding production design, this award is going to Wicked. Between Munchkinland, Shiv University, or Oz itself, I feel the production design that was able to bring the world of Oz out significantly in this movie, and a lot has to be commended for its on-set production design and the overall feel of Wicked. It's taking home now its second Joshcar of the night, and again, a lot of great production designs here in other movies like Conclave, Nosferatu, Dune Part 2, and The Zone of Interest, but Wicked was over the top this year in my personal eyes. The next one is Visual Effects, an award that seems to always go to more of the fan favorite films, and this year we had a variety of films I think go above and beyond in visual effects when it comes to animal styles. I have to say A Better Man is another movie I did not get a chance to see before the end of the year, which I think would be a major contender in this category, but that will be for the Joshcars in 2025. Today, our 5 nominees are as follow: Alien Romulus, Dune Part 2, Furiosa, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Mufasa the Lion King. And in this category, the winner for visual effects is going to go to Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. As somebody who watched this movie and seeing how these, the apes seamlessly work in with human characters and just the world around it throughout the whole entire movie, it is visual effects at the top of it works. You could make case for a lot of these movies here, especially Mufasa, but I do think that the more human-like and the more attachable features that you get from Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes and their visual effects is what made them the clear winner to me this year for the Joshcars. Moving on to our next category, cinematography. This is always a fun one because a movie can look beautiful with camera work, even if it's not that great of a movie overall. Now this year, I think a lot of the movies that are here are expertly made movies. Now I have a couple that might not be in my top tier movies overall, but they have outstanding cinematography that brings out the life of the movie and the characters of the movie. So without further ado, my 5 nominees for cinematography this year are Challengers, Civil War, Dune Part 2, Nosferatu, and Maria. This is always a tough category because there's so much good cinematography going in a lot of different ways in all of these nominees. But when it comes to what I think was the best that really delivered its front, well, the Joshcar for best cinematography this year goes to Nosferatu. The use of black to white, the saturated colors to more animated colors added so much aesthetic to this movie and really helped create a setting and picture for this movie that put you in the exact mood you needed to do. The cinematography on this is masterful, and that's no slouch to other movies who did not win here, whether it be Dune Part 2, Maria, Challengers are big ones, and even Civil War. But I think when you see Nosferatu in theaters, you see the cinematography work going on throughout the movie in a lot of different ways. You just can't deny its glory. Again, tell me if you disagree with this, but for me, cinematography goes to Nosferatu. Film editing is always a fun one because how a movie can pace and feel is so important sometimes to the enjoyment for me of a movie, and I feel you can tell the movies that are really edited well that feel seamless throughout, and the movies that might not be edited well and it feels like they're dragging on or you're not really sure what's going on with the story. These 5 nominees this year made me feel like when I sat down to when I got to the end that the whole entire story went through the whole entire runtime, and I feel like I didn't even get a chance to blink or breathe that much without taking in the full effect of these 5 titles. So without further ado, my 5 nominees for the best film editing in 2024 are Conclave, Furiosa, September 5, The Substance, and Wicked. And the movie I just think did the best editing from top to bottom that really drove this movie to be so much more enjoyable for me as a person, and I think the main reason why the movie works as good as it does is the masterful editing that takes place. Well, the Joshcar for best editing goes to September 5. This movie is one, when you get a chance to see it, that just drives a story from beginning to end, that has all the right edited parts, and the fact that you're focusing so much on a movie edit in a movie that's about like a live broadcast and seeing how they're editing things together just is so much meta work that works so well. I implore everybody to get a chance to see this movie, and like I said, the editing is the superstar of September 5, and it's the reason why I enjoyed the film as much as I did this year, and it's why it's taking home the Joshcar for best film editing. No slouches were any of these other nominees for movies that I think did an expert job of keeping the editing smooth, keeping the engagement up, and having you watch the movie from beginning to end no matter the runtime it had. How a movie sounds is so important in terms of how a movie can feel and the enjoyment it has. Too much sound and it feels overbearing. Too little sound and you don't know what's going on. But the perfect level of sound can really achieve so much more for you throughout the whole entire movie and allow you to really just enjoy or take in a whole set of movie that nothing else has. My 5 nominees for sound are Civil War, Dune Part 2, Nosferatu, A Quiet Place Day 1, The Zone of Interest. All 5 of these movies I feel use sound in a much professional way, whether it is combat zones with Dune Part 2 and Civil War, to creepy aesthetics of Nosferatu and A Quiet Place Part 1. But no movie, I think, in the recent time has achieved a high quality and as important quality in sound as The Zone of Interest, which is why the Joshcar for the best sound in 2024 for me is The Zone of Interest. The sound work and the sound design of that movie tells a whole separate horrifying story to the main one that's going on, and just allows you to really understand what The Zone of Interest is trying to be, and it is what makes this movie work incredibly well. Again, it's definitely a tough watch of a movie. I have only saw it one time. Don't plan to watch it ever again unless I really want to get into the nitty-gritty overall. But the sound design in this movie is what I would call be perfection, and it makes this movie one of the big must-watches of anybody in the 2020s so far. International movies were not as easy for me to watch this year. Most of the movies that are international I didn't get a chance to see in theaters, but I think we still have 5 very good nominees that round out a solid international feature branch. So without further ado, my 5 nominees for international feature are Emilia Perez, Flow, Society of the Snow, The Teacher's Lounge, The Zone of Interest. This crowd features 3 nominees from the previous award seasons that didn't become available to me until beginning of 2024. We have 2 strong contenders in both Flo and Emilia Perez that came out near the end of this year that I think, while maybe for some being, a bit divisive for Emilia Perez, but Flo, just absolutely astounding in its creativity. But for me, my international feature win for 2024 goes to The Zone of Interest, winning back-to-back award years at the Joshcars, picking up its 2nd award of the night. Again, this movie just tells a really haunting story of the family who runs one of the concentration camps at the start of the Holocaust, and the cinematography, the production design, and most importantly, the sound is so well done. The direction and the acting, again, so well done. It's a movie that is haunting. It is a movie that is chilling, but it is able to do what it needs to do and leave an impact on, I feel, anybody who watches it. And for me, it is why it takes home the Joshcar for Best International Feature this year. Animated films this year, I feel, were very, very good from the American side. Whether it be breakout hits, in DreamWorks Animation, whether it be a return to classics for Netflix. You have a great documentary that hit me in the feels, and I think broadened my knowledge of stuff. An outstanding French film, and a sequel to an all-time classic. Here are my 5 nominees for Best Animated Film.
Smooth sailing?
Hello! I'm anxiety. Where can I put my stuff?
A new emotion.
Oh, I'm sorry. We wanted to make such a good first impression.
What do you mean we?
Quiet on the set.
Hey, Pharrell.
Hey, how you doing, man? You know what'd be cool is if we told my story with Lego pieces.
Seriously?
Yes.
Lego.
Just be open.
What on earth? I just don't get it. Why would me own gnome turn evil?
And the Joshcar goes to The Wild Robot. Yes, this movie by DreamWorks, I just think works so well. The screenplay, the voice acting, the messaging, the animation is beautiful, the score is beautiful. So much about The Wild Robot really worked for me and made it one of my most enjoyable theater watches of the year. If you haven't had a chance to see it yet, it should be able to be rented at home, potentially watched on Peacock, and it's definitely one that I recommend for anybody to watch, not just families and kids. The Wild Robot is one of the best movies of the year and is a well-deserving winner of the Best Animated Film of 2024. Score is such an important factor for me in the movies, whether it be the classic John Williams scores of, say, something like Indiana Jones or Star Wars, to epics like Ludwig Göransson's last year in Oppenheimer. It can set the mood for a movie and really put you into the understanding of characters and their feelings much better than anything else you can get out of an actor sometimes. And my 5 nominees this year went above and beyond on their score and how it enhanced the movie overall. This is not original score, so this is not the same type of award credentials as the Oscars. I'm going over just overall score, and my 5 nominees for Best Score this year are Challengers, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Furiosa, Nosferatu, 5 amazing scores that really enhance the movies that they're in a tremendous amount. But for me, there is only one score that I think goes above and beyond into being a legendary, all-time remembering type score, and that's why the best score of 2024 at the Joshcars is going to Dune Part 2 with Hans Zimmer. It's a crime this won't be available for the Oscars this year because it isn't original enough. But Dune's score is masterful, Dune's score is memorable, Dune's score is epic, and it's something that you can listen to by itself and get those goosebumps that you get while watching Dune in the theaters. Love the score, and it's a well-deserving Joshcar. I'm happy to have it win my best score of 2024. The first of our 4 acting categories is one that is ultra competitive. Best Supporting Actress this year features some performances that may be labeled as leads, some performances that are catching up to people, and some performances that may be forgotten but I think are deserving of nominations. I don't know exactly how this category is going to shake out for Oscar season, but I know for me, it was my most difficult category to fit 5 ladies in, 5 deserving women in as nominees, let alone trying to figure out which one of these nominees should win. And without further ado, here are my 5 nominees for Best Supporting Actress this year at the Joshcars.
Are you looking for something? Or someone?
I don't want you riding. Yeah, it scares me, especially this soon after surgery. I don't like it.
And in the meantime, take care of yourself.
And the Joshcar for Best Supporting Actress goes to Ariana Grande, Wicked. I cannot give enough praise to Ariana Grande and her work as Glinda in Wicked. Whether it's her over-the-top comedic timing nature that works so well and is able to make that movie so enjoyable and fun throughout, to the heartwarming, tender moments she shares with Elphaba on the dance floor in the middle of the movie. Ariana Grande is bursting onto the acting scene on the big screen here in a lot of different ways, and I don't think she's going to be going away anytime soon. She was masterful as Glinda here in Wicked. Again, some people may call her a lead, but she's going for supporting actress this year, and that's where I'm going to honor my award season. And yeah, between the singing, the choreography, dancing, her level of acting, her comedic timing, Ariana Grande puts on a masterclass in acting this award season and this year inside Wicked, and she's very deserving of my Best Supporting Actress in what is the most loaded category for me personally and trying to figure out who should win this. All the nominees from Danielle Deadwyler to Jodie Comer to Margaret Qualley and Zoe Saldana gave outstanding performances that uplifted characters in their movie and their movie overall in ways that are undescribably amazing. There are so many other people who missed out here that could deserve a nominee. Supporting actress this year is the toughest category for me at the Joshcars. Now it's time to talk about supporting actor, another category that I found a little bit difficult to fill out, and to figure out the winner, that was almost more difficult as well. But without further ado, here are my nominees for supporting actor in 2024.
I want your leaders. I want those who hold dominance over you.
Tell me what I need in prison. You don't get to do that. And don't bring me in those dark corners no more.
She was the coolest. I've just been in a real funk, I guess, since she died. Just haven't...
Everything will be okay.
And the Joshcar for Best Supporting Actor this year goes to Aaron Taylor Johnson, Nosferatu. This is going to be an upset to a lot of people, whether it be Clarence Macklin, Kieran Culkin, or Yuri Borisov. Aaron Taylor Johnson is nobody's card, I feel, for supporting actor. But as somebody who may have some recency bias with Nosferatu, his character was so well done, and his acting I just found gripping the whole entire way. Whether it is dealing with the affliction that is being caused, whether it's dealing with the questionable nature that, Lily Rose Def's character is going through, the situations he hits a wide range of emotions. He is able to just carry that character so significantly well. He supports up a variety of other characters to even higher levels. He is the definition, in my opinion, of what a supporting character is like, and he nails it all the way through. I don't know if he'll get award buzz or awards coverage this award season, because supporting actor is a big, tight field that feels kind of put together already, but I was absolutely floored with Aaron Taylor Johnson and Nosferatu, and no slouch to any of these other 4 nominees for me who also did outstanding work, but I just got to give Aaron Taylor Johnson this award because I connected with this character. I loved every minute he was on screen. He gave everything in this role. And again, bravo, Aaron Taylor Johnson. You are a Joshcar Award winner here for 2024 in the supporting actor category. Adapted screenplay is always interesting because you're taking a screenplay of an already known property and putting it onto the big screen. Some of these work incredibly well and really drive an interesting, fun story and really engaging story over line, and sometimes they don't go as well because they don't live up to the source material. What I will say about my 5 nominees this year is I feel their writing was outstanding and was the strongest part of their movie overall. They really allowed me to engage with it. They really put a lot of thought in my head of the story, and I just think are the beautiful roses that make its spot. So, without further ado, the 5 nominees for adapted screenplay are The Bike Riders, Conclave, Origin, Sing Sing, The Wild Robot. This is a tough category to come up with a winner, but there's one movie that I think jumps off the screen as one of the best screenplays I've seen in the 2020 years, and the award for Best Adapted Screenplay at the Joshcars today goes to Conclave. This script, I feel, was so tightly put together, was so well done, allowed this movie to really feel engaging, allowed this movie to have a political thriller nature that I wasn't aware was going to be coming. It's just a masterpiece of script writing. Other movies in here that do really great script writing and amazing script writing, whether it be Origin and Sing Sing, The Bike Riders, I really love the story and how it was able to write out a 1960s biker gang type story, or the origins of a biker gang. And The Wild Robot had a great adapted story that really told a, inspirational type stuff. But nothing beats Conclave when it comes to just the overall craftsmanship of the script from beginning to end. Everything about Conclave's screenplay works, and it allows this movie to move and feel engaging throughout. Original screenplay this year is just a juggernaut of a field. I am so happy to see so much original screenplay work coming in that I think was outstandingly good. And without further ado, let's just get into my 5 nominees for Best Original Screenplay. Anora, Dee Dee, A Real Pain, September 5, The Substance. With all these movies, there's only one screenplay that sticks out for me as the pristine best screenplay original of the year. And without further ado, the Joshcar for Best Original Screenplay this year goes to Anora. I loved the way this movie flowed. I loved the way this movie communicated. The script was engaging. It was hilarious. It was dramatic. So much about a Nora screenplay just works for me. The dialogue feels natural. The characters feel like everyday life type characters. You're able to engage with them with this script. It's just an outstanding screenplay, and is one that really, as I went down and even I read parts of it, it just works so well, even in writing. Like I said, the characters are written to be so real life and so real feeling. You're able to get so many levels of emotions out of different people. It can be dramatic and harsh at times. It can be violent at times. It can be slapstick hilarious at times. A Nora screenplay does it all, and it's why it won my Best Original Screenplay here at the Joshcars in 2024. Moving on to our main acting categories. Best Actor this year is one that just features, I think, a few outstanding performances, but I don't know if it rounds itself out as strong as any of the other acting categories this year. Now, like I said, I haven't seen the Brutalist, so I haven't had a chance to see, Adrian Brody and how he would have stacked up here. We'll have to wait a full year to see if he wins next year's Joshcars. But there's still some really amazing performances that come out in our 5 nominees. To just get into them, here are my nominees for Best Actor in 2024.
So are you acting at all during this interview?
You're assessing me. Am I the right guy to eliminate your problem?
Love him, and I hate him.
What the flying jeez?
Therefore, no need for faith.
Your songs are like an oil painting at the dentist's office.
And the Joshcar for Best Actor in 2024 goes to Colman Domingo, Sing Sing. The story that Colman Domingo's character and the acting that Colman Domingo's character goes through in Sing Sing is really a tour de force of work. The emotional range is from gut, heart, terrible feeling, you just rip your heart out, and with the feels, to just loving this character and all the positive, layers that he brings, to being frustrated at his jealous nature. Colman Domingo is just a masterful actor, and coming off of Rustin, he delivers an even better performance in Sing Sing and turns that movie into one of my favorites of 2024. It is the type of acting performance that should be remembered for many, many years. And if there's any doubt that Colman Domingo is one of the best actors in the world today, Sing Sing, Rustin should have, but Sing Sing puts it to the rest. He wins my Joshcar for Best Actor this year. If you haven't had a chance to see Sing Sing out yet, it'll be hitting theaters again in January, and I implore everybody to go see Sing Sing and enjoy this masterful masterpiece of a performance from Colman Domingo that hits all the ranges of emotions, and just, it's beautiful, and it's one of my favorite performances of the year, one of my favorite performances of the decade so far. Congratulations, Mr. Colman Domingo. You, sir, are a Joshcar Award winner. Best Actress this year, much like Supporting Actress, is like a drop-dead category. You can probably find 10 to 12 qualified women who could fit into this nominee pool and all have a chance at winning. This is one that will come heavily down the personal preference. This is one that is just too hard to get down the 5, but I don't cheat like all the other awards, ceremonies, the Golden Globes, the Critics' Choice, like SAG, like the Oscars. I have a list of 5, and even though it took me hours to come down with this list and hours to figure out my winner, I am proud to just come out with this list. Here are my 5 nominees for Best Actress in 2024.
There is no version of this that isn't a mistake. I know, because I'm it.
But I've never been so happy. What? Did you not hear what I said? I said it's because your son's a fucking pussy.
And the Joshcar goes to Mikey Madison Honora. I know, I talked up a big game, and really you can go down any of these 5 actresses' lines, and I can give you a reason why they should win Best Actress. But Mikey Madison is the favorite for Honora for a reason. She's just such a life-breathable character, whether it's her humor, whether it's her real type of a feel. Her tender moments are incredibly vulnerable. Her loud, violent moments are loud and violent. She takes you on a journey with Honora that you're not quite sure what's going on and where it's going, but the final scene puts the nail in the coffin for anybody else having a chance to win this award, because it's just an outstanding, jaw-dropping, emotional, real acting scene. And Mikey Madison brings to life with Honora one of my favorite just characters ever. I love Honora. I love the work Mikey Madison puts on. If you haven't seen this movie yet, it's now available for you on digital. It'll probably come back to theaters once the Oscars gets its nominees. Mikey Madison gives probably the best female performance I've seen of the 2020s so far. And is, again, congratulations, Mikey Madison. You have won a Joshcar for Best Actress. Directing is always an interesting award. You have to find the balance of having the right camera shots, making sure their movies are paced the right way, how are they directing their actors overall. All of these and more really just describes what might be the most difficult job in Hollywood, and that is directing. And this year there were 5 directors that I think did an outstanding job at directing their movies, making them enjoyable, getting all the right shots, really bringing to life all their characters and actors, and just delivering standout films, going above and beyond in different ways. So without further ado, here are my 5 nominees for Best Director in 2024. Corley Faygot, The Substance. Edward Berger, Conclave. John M. Chu, Wicked. Sean Baker, Honora. Tim Fowlebaum, September 5. Now, the Joshcar here for Best Director in 2024 goes to Corley Faygot for The Substance. The direction Substance is above and beyond the best direction I've seen this year. The camera work is outstanding. The storytelling with the acting, pristine. The way the movie is put together and the way everything comes together from a directional standpoint is just superb. The Substance is the best directed movie of the year, and Corley Faygot takes this wonderful screenplay and story and delivers a breathtakingly amazing, engaging movie. It is haunting with its visuals. It is bursting with emotion throughout all different layers. It just comes down to the amazing direction of Corley here, and it's why I'm giving her the Best Director win for The Substance, because I can't think of a movie that was elevated by the director as much as The Substance was this year. It takes home my Joshcar for Best Director. Corley, like everybody else, congratulations, you have won the Joshcar. Many people may find this an upset, but I think when you check out The Substance, if it's for you, you'll understand why this director win is the way it is for me. This brings us to our final category, Best Picture. These are my top 10 ranked movies of the year. They're in alphabetical order now, so you'll be able to get my full rankings from my very last movie to my very first movie on New Year's Day. But my nominees are just the 10 movies I enjoyed the most. It's all personal feeling, it's all biased. If you see movies that aren't in here that you enjoyed more, put them in the comments down below. I want to know what everybody's favorite movie, what everybody's best picture of 2024 was, because movies are all about subjectivity and what you enjoy. But for me, in the Best Picture for the Joshcars, it's all about my subjectivity and what I enjoy. And without further ado, here are my 10 nominees for Best Picture in 2024.
Хотел тебе предложить. Ты хочешь быть эксклюзивно со мной?
15. Cash up front.
Deal.
Deal.
Golden age of bike riders. I never felt so out of place in all my life. That's when I saw him for the first time. It took my breath away.
No sane man would want the papacy. The men who are dangerous are the ones who do want it.
Have you ever played the nervous game before? Are you nervous?
Yes,
What?
I am nervous. I'm sorry.
It is like a dream. It was our wedding. When we turned around, everyone was dead.
Been called the Serene Olympics was shattered this morning. The games are still going on. Within a few hundred yards, 9 terrified living human beings are being held prisoner.
To walk in with our heads held down. Nah, what you gotta walk in like a king. Everything is yours.
I'm divine now. Yeah, this is my theater.
Now give him some love, give him some love.
You can't escape from yourself.
There's been a slight misuse of the substance.
She doesn't give a twink what anyone thinks.
Something is not the same.
Of course she does. She just pretends not to.
The Wonderful Wizard of Oz summons you to the Emerald City.
Come with me.
What?
To meet the wizard.
Why couldn't possibly? This is your moment. I'm coming.
Yes, it's a wide range of different of nominees, whether it be musicals like Wicked, Sing Sing, whether it be thriller movies like September 5 and Conclave, more quiet family movies like Dee Dee and the Wild Robot, horror movies Substance and Nosferatu, movies that take you on journeys like The Bike Riders and Anora. I found so many movies I enjoyed this year, and these are the ones that really connected with me and really allowed my enjoyment overall to just take them in and have a great time. But it's the end of the award show, and we have to award a Best Picture winner. My best movie, my best picture of 2024 goes to Anora. This movie is just a pure ride of emotion throughout. Whether it's having a lot of fun and living that youthful life through Anora early on, to a comedic goose chase hunt that just delivers so many amazing laughs and so many amazing performances, to a really dark, tenured, and very disturbingly sad nature at the very end of the movie. Anora is speaking on so many different levels for me personally. It delivers a wide range of entertainment throughout, and the second act is probably my favorite act of a movie I've seen in years. I was laughing, I was engaged. Anora is truly a masterpiece of a film. It's truly a spectacle of a film. If you haven't seen it yet, it's on digital now, and Anora is my best picture winner. So, to look at some stats here at the end, we had a total of 32 movies nominated across 18 different awards. We had a total of 11 different movies take home awards, with Anora and Wicked leading the way with 3 wins each. The Substance, The Zone of Interest, and Nosferatu taking home 2 awards each, and the rest of the group getting 1 award down. Sing Sing, Conclave, Dune Part 2, The Wild Robot, September 5, and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. It's always fun to look back at a year in movies, and this was one I really did enjoy. I got over 130 theater watches in this year. This was a blast overall, and next year we're hoping to push 150 in the movie total. Tell me down below what I got right and what I got wrong, and I hope we all can enjoy ourselves the rest of 2024 here, and we all have a happy new year. Thank you for watching, and I can't wait for the Joshcars in 2025.